A federal judge just told the President of the United States to stop construction on his prized White House ballroom. The Trump administration immediately appealed, and now this fight is heading straight toward the Supreme Court. This is a legal battle over presidential power, the limits of executive authority, and a $400 million construction project sitting on the site where the East Wing of the White House used to stand. Here is what just happened, why it matters far beyond a ballroom, and why the Supreme Court is about to become the final referee. Let's start with what this project actually is, because you need to understand the full picture before you understand why courts are getting involved. President Trump has been pushing since the start of his second term to demolish the East Wing of the White House and replace it with a massive new ballroom complex. The East Wing has already been torn down. In its place, Trump wants to build a 90,000 square foot structure, bigger than the main White House building itself, which is only 55,000 square feet. The planned ballroom is designed to seat 1,000 guests and feature Greco-Roman columns. Trump has promised it will be, in his own words, the finest building of its kind anywhere in the world. The project is estimated to cost at least $400 million. Trump says it is being funded entirely through private donations, not taxpayer money, and he insists it is ahead of schedule and under budget. The project has been deeply controversial from the start. When it went through a public comment process, it received more than 2,000 public comments. According to staff, 99% of them were negative. That is not a typo. 99% of public comments opposed this project. Yet, the Commission of Fine Arts, an architectural review panel now stacked with Trump allies, voted to approve it anyway, doing so without even seeing the final design. Now, here comes the legal earthquake. U.S. District Judge Richard Leon, a George W. Bush appointee, not a Democrat, not a liberal activist judge, but a Republican-nominated federal judge, looked at this project and ruled clearly and decisively that construction must stop. His ruling on Tuesday, March 31st, came in a lawsuit filed by the National Trust for Historic Preservation, the country's leading historic preservation organization, which argued Trump had no legal authority to tear down a wing of the White House and replace it with a massive new structure without getting Congress to sign off first. Judge Leon agreed entirely. He wrote in his ruling, and this is a direct quote, "The President of the United States is the steward of the White House for future generations of first families. He is not, however, the owner." He went further, writing that no statute comes close to giving the president the authority he claims to have. In plain English, Leon was saying that Trump cannot unilaterally demolish and rebuild parts of the White House on this scale without congressional approval, no matter how he funds it. The law does not give the president that power. Leon has a well-known reputation in legal circles for using exclamation points in his written opinions. He used 18 of them in this ruling alone. When a federal judge is using exclamation points to tell you to stop construction, he is not being subtle. The judge suspended his order for 14 days to give the administration time to appeal, and he warned that any above-ground construction completed during those 14 days could be ordered taken down if his ruling ultimately stands. Within hours of the ruling, the Department of Justice filed a notice of appeal to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit. Trump did not take this quietly. He hit Truth Social almost immediately after the ruling, calling the National Trust for Historic Preservation a radical left group of lunatics. He insisted the ballroom is being built at no cost to the taxpayer. He questioned why a group focused on historic preservation was suing him for, in his words, sprucing up Washington's buildings. And in a separate post, he argued that congressional approval has never been given for similar White House construction projects and therefore should not be required now. But here is where this fight gets even more complicated and where the Supreme Court enters the picture. The Trump administration did not just file a routine appeal, it filed an emergency motion. In a motion submitted to the Federal Appeals Court on Friday, National Park Service lawyers argued that halting construction poses what they called grave national security harms to the White House, the president and his family, and the president's staff. The filing revealed something that had not been fully public before. The Ballroom project is not just a ballroom. According to the administration's own court filings, the construction includes bomb shelters, military installations, a medical facility, bulletproof glass, and drone-proof roofs. The lawyers argued in their motion that without the new hardened facility, the White House would have to rely on canvas tents for certain functions, and that canvas tents are significantly more vulnerable to missiles, drones, and other threats than a hardened national security facility. The administration is now asking the appeals court to issue an emergency ruling allowing construction to resume, and if the appeals court won't do that, they have made clear they will take the case directly to the Supreme Court. They have already asked for the 14-day pause to be extended by another 2 weeks, specifically to give them time to get to the Supreme Court if necessary. So this case is now on a fast track to the highest court in the land, and the core legal question it raises is a genuinely significant one about presidential power. Does the President of the United States need congressional approval to make major structural changes to the White House? Trump says no president has ever had to ask Congress before renovating the White House. The judge says this project is on a completely different scale from any prior renovation, and the law requires authorization. Lawyers for the preservationist group point out that no prior president has ever demolished an entire wing of the White House and proposed replacing it with a structure larger than the White House itself. There is also a congressional dimension to this story that has received less attention than it deserves. Even though Trump is appealing the ruling and refusing to seek congressional approval voluntarily, the judge's order means that approval from Congress is likely the only clean path to completing this project legally. And Congress, even the Republican-controlled Congress, is in no hurry to provide it. Multiple lawmakers from both parties have expressed little enthusiasm for rushing to authorize a $400 million ballroom renovation at the White House. Trump himself has been dismissive of seeking congressional approval and has not publicly indicated he plans to pursue that path. Meanwhile, the National Capital Planning Commission, the key federal agency that oversees construction on federal properties in the Washington region, voted the same week as the judge's ruling to give the project final approval. That approval process was not without controversy either. Critics argued the commission moved too quickly and without seeing complete final designs. Supporters said the project had gone through a proper review process. The president of the National Trust for Historic Preservation, Carol Quillen, called the court ruling a win for the American people, saying the administration must comply with the law and obtain proper authorization before continuing. Now step back and think about the bigger picture here, because this story is about more than a ballroom. This is the latest in a long string of legal battles where courts are being asked to answer a fundamental question about the Trump presidency. How much can the president do unilaterally, without Congress, without oversight, without following established legal procedures? Courts have already blocked some of Trump's executive orders. The Supreme Court issued a 6-3 ruling against Trump on tariffs earlier this year. And now a federal judge appointed by a Republican president is telling Trump he cannot rebuild the White House the way he wants to without going through Congress first. The Trump administration's argument in this case is essentially that the president has inherent authority to manage and renovate the building where he lives and works, and that requiring him to go to Congress for every construction decision is impractical and unprecedented. That is not an entirely frivolous argument. There is a genuine legal debate to be had about where the line falls. But Judge Leon drew that line clearly. He said this project, with its scale and its permanent transformation of the White House complex, is not a renovation. It is a fundamental restructuring of a national historic landmark that the president holds in trust for the American people, not as his personal property. Whether the Supreme Court agrees with that reasoning is now the central question. The Trump administration has 3 of its own appointees on that court, in Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. But those same 3 justices joined the majority that ruled against Trump on tariffs earlier this year. And just days ago, Gorsuch and Barrett were among the justices who aggressively questioned Trump's arguments in the birthright citizenship case, with Chief Justice John Roberts telling the administration bluntly it is the same Constitution. If this Ballroom case reaches the Supreme Court, it will force the justices to weigh in on a president's authority over the White House itself, and given the court's recent willingness to rule against Trump, even on major policy priorities, there is no guarantee the administration gets the outcome it wants. What happens next is being decided right now in the courts. The appeals court has to rule on the emergency motion. If it sides with Trump, construction resumes. If it sides against Trump, the case likely goes to the Supreme Court on an emergency basis. Either way, the legal battle over a $400 million ballroom is turning into one of the most significant separation of powers fights of the Trump presidency, and the American people who own that White House deserve to see it resolved the right way, under the rule of law.